G'day there and welcome to Tim's Board Game Review episode 10. In this episode I'm actually going to review an expansion to a game. This is the Seafarers of Catan, which is an expansion to the Settlers of Catan. Now if you aren't actually familiar with the Settlers of Catan game, I recommend you actually watch my video review of that game. Now if you're like me, you bought Settlers of Catan, really enjoyed playing it, and are thinking about getting an expansion, well, hopefully this will help answer your question as to if the Seafarers of Catan expansion is for you. Now, the gameplay to Seafarers of Catan is actually very similar to the Settlers of Catan, except that it adds some boats, a whole lot of ocean and some islands, some gold hexes, and also a whole lot of different board game layout scenarios that you want to be able to try. Now this is actually the 3rd edition version of the game I've got here, which other than some cosmetic changes is actually very similar to the current 4th edition version of the game. So now let's see what you get inside the box. A rulebook which includes a number of board layout scenarios. You get a whole heap of ocean tiles. You get some more land hexes, some special gold hexes, trading harbour tiles which actually replace the hexes from the original version. Obviously a lot of boats in each player's colour. Special victory point chips, extra numbered tokens, a pirate ship, which is a bit like the robber but it roams the oceans, and a boundary grid to hold all of the pieces together. And this is what the board looks like set up for one of the typical 4-player scenarios with lots more ocean and some islands. Now, Seafarers of Catan plays in a very similar manner to the basic game of Settlers. There are only a few extra things, a few extra new rules. One rule is that you're able to place ships instead of roads, and these cost a sheep and a wood, and they can be used to build out into the ocean and count towards your longest road. There is the pirate ship, which can be used to halt the progress of any other ships adjacent to the pirate. You also get to steal a resource. The gold mine hex allows you to pick any of the 5 resources that you like, and this can be quite powerful if the number on the gold mine gets rolled quite a lot. In most of the scenarios you also usually get extra bonus points for building settlements onto a new island, so this certainly encourages you to build ships and build out and settle onto the new islands. Compared to the basic version of Settlers, the board is certainly less cramped, so there's less competition for spaces. There are also a lot of scenarios that you can try in the rulebook, and there's also a lot of random scenarios that you can generate. So this game certainly adds a lot of replayability to the base game without adding a lot of length to the game or complexity to the rules. So in that regard, this expansion is certainly the one that I play the most. So here are my ratings for this expansion. Certainly got solid components, and also I give it 8 out of 10. The 4th edition and 3rd editions are also fully compatible, which is great. Luck would be basically the same as Settlers, because obviously there's a lot of dice rolling and the development cards appear randomly. Fun factor, I'd rate medium to high. There's certainly still a lot of trading and interaction in this game. The complexity would be low to medium. Essentially the rules are virtually the same as Settlers with only a few more extra rules. Depth I'd rate medium, certainly different strategies that can be employed to try and win. Replayability would certainly be even higher than the basic game of Settlers because of all the different scenarios that you're able to try. Overall, I give this game a solid 9 out of 10. It certainly adds a lot more replayability to the game. Doesn't feel as crowded, and I'd highly recommend you pick this up if you enjoy the basic game of Settlers. So I hope you liked my review, and until next time, happy gaming.